What's good, YouTube? DM Gaming here, guys. Got some pretty interesting information, guys. And it does involve the beta, but there's something inside of the notes from the beta that I'm going to go over that is telling of some more stuff that's in the game. And I ain't seen people talking about this. So if you're new to the channel, don't be a Poindexter. Click the subscribe button or I'm going to tell everybody what you do in the shower. And it ain't what you think. Don't be a pervert. But yeah, it's pretty telling. We know. We hear it on the outside of the door. Me and your mom. It's concerning. We need to talk about that at some point in time. Anyway, guys, so the video. Let's get to these notes. So this is in the campus huddle on the college football 26 page. Go to news and then go to campus huddle, college football 26 closed beta details. I'm going to read through this, okay? And that's fine just because some people probably want to know some things that they know are going on, issues they're trying to fix. But there's something in here that we need to discuss that is revealing of some features in the game that they haven't talked about, okay? So stay tuned for that, all right? Yeah, so welcome back to the campus huddle. They just introduced the beta. Keep in mind, this tech test is limited in scope and does not represent the final version of college football. So that's true because Scott OG even said that it is an older build than even what the press and the influencers got to play. Uh-oh, my bad. So take that, people wanting to play. I know a lot of people just want to play the beta because they want to get their hands on the game early. But guys, this beta is to test servers. It's not so, I mean, if they see gameplay issues, that's fine. But anyway, before we get started with everything else that you need to know, let's take another look at the official reveal trailer. We ain't gonna watch that. The beta, starts today and it runs through to Sunday. What's included in the closed beta? Online Dynasty and Road to the College Football Playoff head-to-head. These are the online modes, guys. They're really testing the servers and how the game behaves on those servers, because the game does behave differently when playing on servers, especially with crossplay. Dynasty progress. For our Dynasty players, any progress made in online Dynasty mode will be reset after college football 26 closed beta. The reason why is because it's an older build of the game. Simply put, playbooks. Playbooks in the closed beta are not final and could be updated prior to the worldwide launch. The team can't wait to share the gameplay and Dynasty deep dives with the full feature details later this month. I mean, we got 4 weeks. We have literally a month until the 3-day early version of the game comes out. They're doing a gameplay deep dive. They're doing a Dynasty deep dive. And I thought they were doing a deep dive over presentation. But if it's just the 2 deep dives, then, and I know we'll talk about that in a later video, but if I'm not mistaken, I think the Dynasty deep dive is like 40 pages is what Scott said. So the closed beta, you're not supposed to record anything. No, I did not get a code. On one of the college football pages, they said it was sent out to people, of course, who had the Madden VIP thing, but who also, I guess, posted a lot about the game. I was like, I wasn't been out of shape about it because I haven't been consistent. And it's just a goal of mine to be more consistent, and I'm able to do that now in my current situation. So, or not situation, it's not even a situation. The way my life is right now. Running the shop and stuff like that. So I'm excited. That's a goal for next year. College Football 26 closed beta is available PS5 when participating. Okay, that's just what not to do. Feedback on the College Football closed beta, so they provide that for people to give feedback. If you're playing the beta, give feedback, man. Don't just be sitting there playing it just to, I'll play College Football early. Leaks are going to come out. Y'all already know that somebody is going to leak something. I don't know if I'm going to cover those leaks on the channel. Number one, I do want a future covering this game. To get to the point to be able to go down and play the game early and stuff and get that experience. I don't want to, honestly, I'm telling you, I don't want to tarnish that with EA. But those same game changers even report leaks from the beta. So if when the leaks come out, guys, we'll talk about them. We'll talk about them. We wanted to share the best practices. We know that the following details are extremely important: game mode, game style, game difficulty. team used. These are things as far as when they're giving notes back. Let them know all of these things because it's very important. The Dynasty team is interested in hearing what you have to say about the following changes to Dynasty Mode. Coach progression. Okay, we're getting into some stuff that is a little bit different. We're starting to get into a little bit of information. So some things, like they said, that changed. Coach progression has changed. Coach skills location, progression system, polls, playoff entries. Does the addition of the trophy room encourage you to play as other teams? Protected opponents feedback, dynamic deal breakers, which they talked about, and dynamic traits, which I haven't seen anything about that. Do you feel the impact of the changes? Location-based visits. We talked about that. That's where, if they're closer to your school or in your pipeline, it won't cost as many points for them to schedule a visit. Do those impact your targeting decisions? Do you sway more than last year now because of understanding how it works? Wear and tear settings. How does that impact your player and your decision around who to use? Feedback about how crossplay is working. So this is interesting here. Like I said, the coach progression. So there's going to be changes to that. Coach skills location. I have no idea what that is. But it's interesting. And the progression system in general. So those are some new things that are coming to the game. There's more, guys. This isn't even what I was talking about. But let's continue. So that's still cool to see. Road to the college football playoff team. Home field advantage. How impactful it is to you and your thoughts on it. How do you feel about the new progression system? Rankings earned per game. Let me see here. Going back up a little bit, the following details are extremely important. Game mode, game style, game difficulty, team use, playbook use, play call, any adjustments used during play. If applicable, what buttons did you press? So there's no really details in that one like it was for Dynasty right here with the coach progression, coach skills, location, and progression system. This is all pertaining to the coach. So there's going to be a new progression system. There's going to be new skill or coach skills location. I guess there's going to be some differences in that too. And then polls playoff entries. So because of the changes with the college football playoff, how to download it, they give instructions on that. Okay, so here we go with some of the stuff here that I wanted to go over. And I'll tell you when we get there. So coverages is just some known gameplay issues, things that they knew going into the beta were issues. Outside deep zone match defenders are sometimes taking unintentional missteps, giving up deep ball passes. Issues with our China call logic, causing the outside deep zone not to drop back. And that's a secondary deal right there, China call. Two-man under, defenders will sometimes move towards the line of scrimmage, taking themselves out of position to play deep passes. Two-man under. Okay, so it's cover two-man. It basically cover two under means it's cover two, and they're playing man underneath the cover two. So who they're referring to right here is the safeties. The safeties will move towards the line of scrimmage, taking themselves out of position to play deep passes. Because in man coverage, you press those guys that are in man. I'll do anyway. Users attempt to select a DB covering a streak route or sometimes getting switched to safety instead of the corner running with the streak. That's a general problem. The show cover 2 coverage shell does not work when attempting to use it on a single high defense. And I don't think this is even an issue. I don't even know how they list that as an issue. Because if you're attempting to use a single high safety and you show cover 2, the whole point of having a high safety is to be able to have the other safety play in the box to help on run support. So it doesn't make sense to disguise that, because then he's having to play back and it's really taking him out of position to stop the run. So from a play call standpoint, if I'm running a one high, I don't know why I would even disguise, because like I said, I'm using that safety for run support. Now, if he's in a zone, like he's playing a hook to curl or something like that, yeah, it won't hurt him because he'll come downhill to play in that zone. But if he's there for run support, I don't know why you would show a cover 2 look anyway with him. QB in passing. When attempting to playmaker a receiver up the field, you sometimes get an unintended truck move. So this is pertaining to the quarterbacks in the backfield. We have those playmaker moves in the backfield with the quarterbacks. And what they're saying is, the playmaker feature where you can direct the closest receiver to you to either go downfield, come down, go left, go right. And when you push it, the up stick, it does a truck move instead sometimes. So that's something to note. Sometimes attempting to throw on the cut on an outside breaking route is off target, even when the quarterback rolled an accurate pass. So that's just an accuracy issue with the game. Catching. We have some catch holes when throwing to the back of a receiver on a flat or a short out route. User-controlled defenders now have low catch chance when running up the field attempting an interception. So that's something that definitely needs to be fixed, because if you're running up the field and you're in a position, that means you're looking at the ball. And that's the whole thing that they're talking about with the secondary this year, is that you have to be looking at the ball to get an interception. So if you've done all those little things right and you're still dropping passes, then that's concerning. Okay, so pass rush. Some stunts and twists selections from the stunt and twist menu are not playing out on the field. That's something that naturally a new thing you got to get fixed in the game. Pass rushers will sometimes attempt defender pass rush skill moves after the quarterback has already started to scramble out of the pocket. Right there. Pass rushers will sometimes attempt defender pass rush. Yeah, got to get that in line. Offensive linemen are sometimes incorrectly turning their backs to defenders, resulting in defenders coming in unblocked. Because, guys, this is, some people say, oh my gosh, this is so alarming. This is on a very early build of the game. They're just letting people know, hey, before you get into this beta, these are issues that we already know are in the game. So these are issues that we already know are in the beta. Okay, so you don't have to report these issues. Why? Because we already know they're in the game. Does that make sense? So people, I don't want y'all seeing this and be like, oh my gosh, they could already have this stuff fixed by now. This is the message to the people playing the beta of issues that we already know about, so you don't have to report it. And like Scott said, this is an even older build than what the press played. So these things can very well be fixed by now, but they definitely need to be fixed by release. Okay, so here's the interesting part. Here's another interesting part. We just saw the interesting part with Dynasty, okay, when they were talking about up here where they were talking about a new, because look, they said it's interesting on what you have to say about the following changes to Dynasty Mode. There's changes to coach progression, coach skill location, and progression system. The progression system is different. It's overhauled. Dynamic traits and deal breakers as well, okay? So we speculated about the coach stuff, but that is true. It turns out to be true. And then the dynamic traits. Now, this is a very, very interesting thing as well. Read this part. Offensive AI. AI teams in the red zone often throw short of the end zone on 3rd and 4th downs. Here is a big one. AI teams attempt 50-plus yard field goals in heavy snow games. Here's another one. Data-driven play calling is recommending the same play too frequently. Guys, this entire section right here is revealing of some features that we didn't know were going to be in college football. So first off, AI. I told y'all AI is a game changer. And the fact that it says AI teams in the red zone often throw short of the end zone on 3rd and 4th downs, that's telling me that they're programming these guys to go score. The AIs. I like that. But the second one and the third one is really huge. AI teams attempting 50-plus yards. They don't say CPU teams anymore. They say AI. That's a step up in what they're doing. AI should perform better than your computer program logic. Anyway, the key here is heavy snow games. So according to this, we're going to get dynamic weather in college football as well. Because it says heavy snow games. It doesn't say light snow games. It doesn't say in snow games, period. It says in heavy snow games. Remember, this is something that they talked about with Madden, talking about, with the heavy snow. Remember, we read the deep dive on, well, not the deep dive, but we read the campus huddle, not the campus huddle, but y'all know what I'm saying. The little deep dive thing for the release of Madden when they talked about the field goals and stuff like that. Yeah, so here in Madden, it's called the campus huddle. I mean, not the campus huddle, the gridiron notes. Jesus, I'm stuck on college. So remember this part right here. They're talking about football weather here. And they said, visibility, stamina, and ball control. If you're playing Madden NFL Snowball, you'll notice players slipping or moving as clunky as they would in a real life blizzard. Physics from how players move to how the ball carries will be adjusted to mimic weather conditions. Here's the thing. Think again about chip shot field goals in what? Heavy weather. What does this say right here? Heavy snow games. Guys, dynamic weather will be in college football. That is awesome. That is huge news. Okay. And then two, data-driven play calling. Remember, they marketed data-driven play calling for college football. For Madden, I'm sorry. Oh gosh. They never marketed it in anything for college football, but it's here. Data-driven play calling is recommending the same play too frequently. So the same data that they use for Madden to collect gameplay, they did the same thing for college. So that is super duper dope. So we're getting a new coach progression. We're getting dynamic weather and data-driven play calling, and this is and that's for the offensive AI. And you may say, well, isn't the AI is that for computer guys? When you're doing this is also for the player in reference to coach suggestions. Okay, that's our form of offensive AI, data-driven when they suggest plays. Mini games. Game sometimes crashes at the end of pocket presence or when progressing into trench battle. Online dynasty issues. Final super sim tuning not in place will result in non-representative final stats. So they're basically just saying like that. I mean, the final super sim tuning isn't in place yet. It's not, guys, and I have to stress this. People are going to say, well, the game's a month away. They need to get this in place. Guys, these are known issues with the build of the game that they're showing in the beta, which is an older build than what the press and the influencers got to play, and also an older build than what we will get to play. Once again, I have to stress this because people don't tend to listen sometimes. These are known issues with what version of the game they're showing in the beta. Okay? Doesn't mean that this stuff is still prevalent in the current build of the game. It just means, hey, guys, y'all don't have to report this stuff because we already know. Does that make sense? Okay, coaching carousel tuning, not final. Not representative of final product, coach movement. Not representative of final product, coach movement. So they were still working on it in the beta build. Player transfer portal tuning, not final. Final version has more movement plus new playing time logic implemented. So right now in the beta, people aren't even really getting the full experience. Like I said, the beta is to test the servers. And that's why they gave them such an older build. So new playing time logic wasn't implemented yet. Not all player notifications and full screen takeovers are present in the beta. Okay. So that's interesting. Okay. And then presentation, known issues, no highlights. Oh my gosh. Yo. Okay. Hold on. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. I seen no highlights at halftime and post game. Okay. They always show highlights at halftime. And they show highlights after post game. I was like, hold up. I was thinking halftime show, bro. I was thinking halftime show for a second. Oh, I was finna lose my mind. Y'all have no idea. I was finna go stupid on here, man. They already show highlights at halftime and the post game. But wouldn't it be cool, boy, if we get a halftime show and a post game show? That would be so dope. But I got ahead of myself right there, y'all. Almost went stupid. Wipe timing issues. I don't know what that is. Some blocked cameras. And then multiple clipping issues during runouts. And then the note here, the player rating throughout the College Football 26 codes beta have been scrambled/randomized and are not final. And they did that intentionally because they don't want people leaking ratings and stuff like that. Community frequently asked questions. If I didn't receive an email with an invitation to the College Football 26 closed beta, what is the best way to get in and play? This beta is designed for our most dedicated players who spent countless hours in college football 25 who can provide us the best quality feedback about this test. I don't like this because, like myself, last year, coaching varsity football, head girls varsity basketball, assistant girls varsity track, teaching, like I didn't have the time to sit there and play the game all day. But I also get it, because the people that play it a lot, they're the ones that's going to have a keen eye to things that need to be changed. For example, they need to change the wide receiver catch logic, because I run veer and shoot and I throw a lot of deep balls and the corners will tip a pass up. And it's like the receiver is completely oblivious to the ball. And guys, it's times, a lot of times the ball is in position. It would hit the receiver in the top of the head. It hit him in his hands. And he wouldn't even almost attempt to try to catch it. And it's like, it ain't like the ball is out of sight. He don't know where it said he can't catch it. No. These DBs tip the ball and it's in, like, the receiver is right there. All he has to do is catch the ball. And they get stuck in this pass deflection animation and they never attempt to catch the ball. And it blows my mind. I'm going to do a little snippet about that and share that with Scott. It's like, hey, this logic definitely needs to be fixed. How do I access the forums to provide feedback? They give that information there. Looking for something interesting. There's cross-platform functionality available for the College Football 26 closed beta. Yeah. So very interesting information. Like I said, just recapping, the coaching carousel information is interesting. I'm interested this right here. I'm wondering if they're going to try to throw in a halftime show. But to know, guys, that dynamic weather is in the game. That data-driven play calling is in the game. And then for Dynasty, a new coach progression and skills progression system is also in the game. EA Sports. So very interesting. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Did any of y'all even get a beta code? I don't know. Interesting. But guys, that's all I got for right now, man. I hope we get a deep dive next week because we're 4 weeks out from college football. So they better roll out the info. 40 pages. We'll be doing a live stream on that because that is a lot to cover. Till next time, y'all. Thanks for watching. Peace.